Okay, what's up guys? Welcome back to another exciting tutorial, and today I'm going to be showing you what the histogram really is all about. A couple of you have been asking questions here and there, trying to know what the histogram really is all about, and then you see it and you're just like, it looks so crazy, like a bunch of, crazy inscriptions and colors or whatever way it comes up, and you're just wondering, okay, what is the histogram? How do I read the histogram? What significance does it have? Why should it even be there in every image? And you're like, okay, all right, the histogram basically is a graphical representation of the tonal values of your image. In other words, it shows you the amount of brightness. It shows you the amount of brightness of every color or every portion of your image, and it ranges from 0 to 100%. Now 0 being your blacks and 100 being your whites. Now so it's more like it breaks down every color that you have in your image into individual colors, and then shows you the tonal values of each color. Now you can see there's something aquamarine, there's a blue here, there's a red here, yellow here, green here, all over. And then over you can see that on your different sections, as I move the cursor over, you have the blacks, the shadows, the exposure, which is basically your midtones, then the highlights and your whites. Now you can see that once I hover upon it, the cursor shows that you could actually move left or right. So it means if you click and drag to the right on your blacks, it increases your blacks. You can see it's also indicated over here. So you could double click on each person to resets that image. So it shows you that over here in your midtones, we have a whole lot of yellows, greens, reds. All those tones are really prominent in this particular range, and blues as well. So you see we have a lot of blue in the midtone range. We have a lot of red, like basically all the reds are in that range, and the yellow, all the yellows are also in that range. We just have a few portions where the yellows are in the highlights, so that's what we can see around here. Another thing you need to note, another thing that's what you have noted here is hide shadow clipping, hide highlights clipping. Now I have it activated, that's why it's showing as hide, but originally what it should show you by default is show shadow clipping and then show highlights clipping. What it basically does is that it shows you, it gives you the, it's more like a guide to show you when your image is clipping, when your highlights are getting too high and they're getting crushed. Now basically what clipping means is that it goes beyond the maximum value, in the sense that, okay, let's increase the whites. You can see that the green goes higher and higher and higher. Now you can see that there's a very thin streak line over here. Yeah, it goes beyond the box. And if you notice on your image, you're not having red covering over these green areas. Now this red is pointing you to the areas that are now clipping. Now it gives you a guide to show that those places are now becoming white. They've lost their color values. The luminosity value is way too much. So there's sometimes that you want to see that maybe you want your sky to be overexposed, you want portions of your image to be overexposed. You can work with that. If it doesn't really mess up your image, it's all about what you think, what you see, what you feel, what feel you're going to in your color grade. Yeah, and the same thing likewise when you pull up your shadows, your blacks. Okay, when you have that thin straight line, you begin to have you can see that we're having blue. This image is actually blue, that's why you can't really see much of it, but you see this area is blue. It just tells you that that place is black. Like, okay, all right, let me drop the exposure over exposure and see if we could. Okay, you can see that when you drop the exposure, you can see we have more of those blues now. So if you turn it off, it's just black. Now when you turn it on, it shows you that, okay, this place is way too crushed. It's gone beyond what I can handle. I can't see any detail, no color. Basically that is everything that you need to know about that. So alright, I just get to reset that. And that is everything you need to know about the histogram. If there's anything you need to know, let me know in the comment section below. And also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with people out there so they can learn what you're learning as well. Alright, see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.